Goku versus Naruto, martial arts only. Now, honestly, what do you guys think? Comment below what you guys think. I think martial arts only. I think Goku still clears. They lose their powers. They can only throw hands, okay? Right? I think Goku absolutely slaughters. I wouldn't say absolutely slaughters Naruto. But you gotta understand, Goku's been training martial arts since he was literally like 5 years old. Okay? Naruto's not like that, bro. Also, Naruto's taijutsu isn't as good as some other characters in the show. His taijutsu is really good, but it's not as good as like Rock Lee's, okay? And I don't even think Rock Lee can probably be, or Mike Guy could probably be Goku in martial arts. That would be better. That would be a better fight. Mike Guy versus Goku in martial arts only, not Naruto. I think Goku absolutely stomps Naruto, but let's see what this guy says.
If you're a Twitter guy or if you've just been on Twitter recently, you've probably seen the Goku versus Naruto, who is a better martial artist or who would win straight hands type of tweets, where many people debate on who's the better hand-to-hand fighter, with people arguing it's Naruto due to him being a literal ninja, or Goku because he's a martial artist master, etc. This topic has actually gotten a lot of heat recently, and rightfully so. It's pretty interesting, even for me to talk about, who would win if they were just as strong as a normal person in the real world. How much does their actual fighting prowess affect their opponents, and who is truly more skilled? This is probably worth noting since I'm sure a lot of people will still comment, but we aren't comparing Goku or Naruto's overall power and how one can blow up universes and the other.
That's my thumbnail! That's literally my thumbnail!
Goku or Naruto's.
I made this! I didn't make these drawings, but like, I took the PNG. I made this. Hold up. Let me cook. Hold up. Look, there's my thumbnail 2 years ago, bro. That's my thumbnail. That's crazy. Bro took my thumbnail. I wonder how we got it. That's crazy. That's literally my thumbnail. That's wild. Hey, we made it. I'm gonna have to leave a comment now. Hey, my thumbnail at what time is it at? Oh, 44 seconds.
Overall power and how one can blow up universes and the other can nuke a planet. This is merely me talking about their fighting prowess and how skilled they are as fighters. Neither Goku nor Naruto will actually be given their powers, so nothing like Super Saiyan or Shadow clones. Unless you consider Ultra Instinct to be a technique, which in a way it kind of is, but we won't be considering it for the majority of the video, only for the parts where it's actually worth mentioning. One thing I really do want to make absolutely clear with this video is that Goku, especially when it comes to martial arts, is no amateur. Several people when it comes to actually
That's his whole thing. He's a martial artist. Like, that's his whole thing. Yeah, Naruto's a ninja, but bro, Goku's been a freaking martial artist since he was like 5.
Pending Dragon Ball will always say things like, we'll take away his powers and he won't be as strong or something along those lines, which in my opinion is very wrong. Dragon Ball, even from a narrative standpoint, is and has always been a series about fighting and martial arts. It's been the key component of the series since the very beginning. These absolute fodder characters that Goku is handling like it's his PE class are some of the best fighters on the planet, with the martial arts tournament literally being a worldwide event where any and all fighting styles are used on opponents, and Goku is manhandling them as a child. And obviously the skill gap does become pretty useless since later on, characters like Pan are obviously significantly stronger than humans on Earth, but for Kid Goku and OG, there really isn't any reason to assume he's just not that skilled. It isn't just Goku, by the way, it's obviously a thing for practically every Earthling on the planet, which is also heavily emphasized within the Saiyan saga, where their skill gap is the only thing keeping them alive practically other than them waiting for Goku, and even characters like Master Roshi, who live significantly longer than any average human, spend centuries learning and mastering martial arts techniques, which is heavily important when it comes to finding out just how skilled Goku truly is. In the original Dragon Ball series, it's clear that Goku has an exceptional ability to replicate techniques, such as the Kamehameha and Hashuken, after witnessing them just a single time. It's not only this, he spontaneously developed his wild monkey fighting style while facing Jackie Chun, while Goku certainly demonstrates a
Yeah, so does Goku get his tail in the one-on-one against Naruto? I guess no, let's just take it away. Like he just literally just MMA. Just MMA. I think Goku still wins.
Mastery of martial arts techniques in his battles. It's challenging to gauge his proficiency in a real-world context due to the fictional nature of many martial arts depicted in the manga. For instance, his Janken Fist. Despite all that, there are instances where he employs real-world techniques like the 1-inch punch and the Resurrection F. Obviously, this adaptation isn't necessarily limited to just these techniques, which are just advanced martial arts anyway, as we literally see Goku keeping up with characters in the afterlife who've been training for hundreds or thousands or even tens of thousands of years. Even characters like Kid.
Yeah, but at that point, like, you're not really, like, talking about, like, his martial art status. You're just talking about his pure strength. Because he literally had, in order to keep up, he had to stack Super Saiyan on top of Kaioken.
A 1,000-year-old assassin from an entirely different universe who can skip into the future was still getting mopped and predicted by Goku just through pure precision. Imagine you throw the most experienced fighter ever in our own world, whoever you think it may be, against someone who can appear into any place into the future. They're probably not going to be able to land a clean hit on their opponents ever, so saying or thinking Goku is just some average MMA fighter level opponent in terms of raw martial arts is pretty silly, especially when considering his tournament of power feats and how he was able to master Ultra Instinct, a technique that not even the gods of destruction could master in their 70 million years of living, a technique that had Whis, a being that is probably as old.
Because Goku's just like a prodigy. He's essentially just like a prodigy. Like, so is Gohan too, but Goku's just like built it. Also, it's like at that point, it's just the power plot. You know what I'm saying?
Old as the universes themselves, actually. Pretty stunned and proud that he was able to master it in such time. Keep in mind that this tournament only occurred over the span of almost 50 minutes, and he was able to achieve what martial arts gods couldn't in 70 million years, let alone the 46 minutes.
Yeah, but also Ultra Instinct was teased like very early on, back in the previous arcs. There's a bunch of like little tidbits of him of the story teasing Ultra Instinct, like when Goku first fought Beerus and his body moved on its own. Like Ultra Instinct was probably the most earned transformation or technique in Dragon Ball Super because it was hinted at and talked about way beforehand.
That Goku actually had to pull this off, and that's the kind of opponent Goku actually is. He isn't some ordinary fighter that you can train a few years to beat. You would need millions of years to prep, and even then it would most likely just get adapted in a few moments just through raw skill, to practically having auto-dodge via this Ultra Instinct if you consider it a martial arts technique to an extent. We see this dodging in this form is very much efficient with Kefla, someone who can literally one-shot this Goku, not being able to land a single hit on him, despite actually just being significantly stronger and fully capable of killing Goku. And that's only if she could land a single hit. However, due to the gap in just raw skill and Goku's utilizing his technique, she still loses. It's kind of the same thing with Jiren, where he's forced to use some of his actual power to counter Goku's punch and UI, despite literally blinking that power away when it was in the form of a spirit bomb.
When Ultra Instinct, like when people say like, oh, this is gonna break the internet, oh, Luffy Gear 5 is gonna break, oh, no, Baron Mode's gonna break the internet. I have never experienced anything like when the Ultra Instinct episode came out for Dragon Ball Super. Like, I remember not only Crunchyroll was down, but Funimation and so many other streaming platforms where Dragon Ball was streaming. Like, it was hard to watch anime that day. And not just for like an hour. It was damn near all day. Like, when people say, oh, this is to break the internet, like, maybe. But it's not going to be the level of Goku going Ultra Instinct. Because holy shit, that was just a different time, bro. It was just a different time. Like everybody, I remember people would have watch parties. Like you guys see all those like watch parties of people in like Mexico who like get together and watch Goku go Ultra Instinct and fight Jiren. Like that's not going to happen for One Piece. That's not going to happen for Naruto. Like Dragon Ball is just on a totally different level when it comes to like culture, bro. And there's a reason it's the only one who's like genuinely crashed and broken the internet.
Goku's mere skill is enough to close gaps as large as him and Jiren at the start of the tournament, even if it's for a brief moment. Much like Goku, Naruto oftentimes doesn't get the respect he deserves when it comes to how skilled he actually is. He possesses remarkable skills and shows a significant amount of effort. Achieving the mastery of techniques like the Shadow Clone as an academy student is pretty impressive, especially considering that most Chunin are unable to accomplish such a feat. He managed to learn and perfect the Rasengan, an A-rank jutsu that only a few shinobi have ever been able to pull off, yet he was able to do it as a genin. Later on in the series, when he actually starts learning the Rasen Shuriken and nature transformation, He essentially condensed years of training into a single month with the help of his shadow clones. Then
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with MMA. Like what he said right now, how he learned the Rasen Shuriken is nothing to do with MMA. Although he could learn what Mike Guy learned in probably like a day or two with the help of his shadow clones. Yeah, he could do that. But as of right now, the Naruto that we know of right now is not as skilled as somebody like Mike Guy.
later stage, he's able to dedicate an undisclosed amount of time to training in order to master Sage Mode. Not only mastering the use of Sage Chakra, but actually achieving perfection as a Sage. Something that not even his sensei Jiraiya could actually do, despite Jiraiya training for decades on end. This is pretty similar to Master Roshi's feat of actually spending years on end to master the Kamehameha, although Jiraiya wasn't really training for as long as Roshi was, and they're pretty similar feats, so it's kind of worth mentioning, although Goku's feat really just is better. And these are pretty much all done without Kurama, and if anything, Kurama actually makes his reserves worse due to him being a Jinchuriki. And even when it comes to actually fighting beings who have millenniums worth of experience, we actually see that pretty clearly with the Mother of Chakra, Kaguya, a being that is over 1,000 years old, and is actually able to fight and gain the upper hand several times during their fight. And even in Boruto, we see Naruto and Sasuke fight Momoshiki at fatigued levels of power, and still have Momoshiki.
Yeah, the taijutsu in Boruto is pretty good too. Like also in the last, I think Naruto has some crazy ass taijutsu feats in that movie.
Shiki shook at just their pure hand to hand, as they literally pack him up multiple times during their fight. And even when fighting Madara, the ghost of the Uchiha clan, Naruto is able to fight and keep up with Madara, despite him using his Limbo clones, which are stated to be impossible to perceive because of the Limbo dimensions just being separate from reality. With the data book stating that Sage Chakra, or just Sage Mode in general, is a flawless taijutsu that has no openings, either in attack or defense. Taijutsu being hand-to-hand combat would just mean that Naruto's hand-to-hand combat would be flawless by the databook's definition. Obviously, flawless can't be used in every situation, but it is worth mentioning because, again, taijutsu is obviously hand-to-hand related. So looking at both stats, who would actually win? Naruto is fighting God.
I think Goku. I think Naruto would give him would give Goku like a little bit of trouble like in the beginning, but Goku learns fast. So does Naruto, but I don't think he learns as fast as Goku does, especially without his shadow clones. I think Goku would struggle in the beginning to keep up. Well, not to keep up, but just to see what Naruto's taijutsu levels are, and then Goku would probably back him up.
Gods with thousands of years of experience, while Goku is fighting gods with tens of thousands to potentially millions of years of experience. I think it'd be pretty silly to say that Goku just doesn't come out on top in terms of pure martial arts.
Yeah, it's
I do
pretty
think the
simple.
fight would probably start off pretty evenly until Goku starts pulling out techniques that Naruto just doesn't know. Techniques that Goku could simply adapt to in mere moments. They both are pretty concretely geniuses when it comes to condensing techniques and actually just learning them for that matter. But Goku just has better feats overall.
Yep.
I think it's safe to say that even someone like Goku is probably relative in skill or even more skilled than the Gods of Destruction, which is made pretty clear during the Tournament of Power, where even gods like Champa.
I would argue that Goku, when it comes to martial arts, can probably pack up half of the Gods of Destruction. Like you're telling me Champa can pack up. Now I'm talking about powers and strength. I'm talking about like just martial arts, like hand to hand. I would say Goku can probably pack up Champa. The dude's fat as fuck, bro.
Are actually just shook at the thought of Goku being able to fight two opponents at once via sheer fighting tuition, and obviously Goku mastering Ultra Instinct, which is something they couldn't master in their 70 million years of existence. Naruto's on par with beings who are thousands of years old, while Goku's on par with beings that are millions of years old. If you want to see more videos like this, or even just an equal stats version, where
straight
I
to
do
the
think
point
this fight
at the
does
end
go
there,
way differently in terms of equal
straight
stats,
to the
not
point.
just
I like
martial
it.
arts.
Good video. Dub
I do
video.
think that
Like
equal
on
stats.
it. Oh, we already did. Yeah, good video. He also used my thumbnail, so dub. All right.